Hello, hello, my lovely Ligas, my Ligalians. Let's put those headphones on. Get on me, headphones! Stop resisting! Alright, so we're gonna be going the ever classic Nunu in the jungle, and we've got we've got a Lux as an enemy. Let's check it out. So we've got endgame Vayne, we've got endgame Jax. They've got a lot of binds, but Ashe is late game, but I feel like Vayne is gonna, you know, if they try to duel or something, they'll do a good job. Warwick is he has a lot of yeah, buy that stuff. There you go. Don't forget to buy that stuff, guys. So we've got a Garen who's gonna be pretty is gonna be good later on in game. So we won't try to so let's see. Warwick could go after this first. But we're gonna chance it either way. But yeah, they have a pretty good oh, Lux did hang around. How about that? Now I'll have to fiddle around here. Alright, 390. Alright, see you later, buddy. Just wasting so much time, too. I'm gonna wait for Scuttles here. It's not really too necessary, but it will protect the Jax. But he's going back anyway. So there was no point in that regard. That was so weird of Lux. Like, I didn't understand what she was thinking there. But what can I do, man? So it looks like Warwick has gone... I wonder if he had red buff. I should have looked a little quicker. Or blue buff, rather. Yeah. I will most likely be smiting this. I feel like Warwick, 410. Go. Okay, so Ashe put her little arrow thingy on me. So she'll know where I am. And that did not just happen. Yeah, that's gone. That's gone too. Oh. Mr. Warwick's been a really busy boy. Alright. So we are going to have to eat up our little guys here. We can get some Now this is a nice item to get, or a nice thing to get. We get Balmy Cinder as soon as we get 900 gold. Nice. Now we're not level 3 yet, so we can't actually fight this by ourselves. So it's possible we're gonna try to get the help of our Heimer here. Speed things up. Alright, we're looking at 430. There we go. Nice work. Thank you. So Infernal is going to be really nice for everybody on our team. Their mid lane is gone, however. Okay, Warwick took this first. I would assume that it's going to be up at any point now, but no. Okay, there it is. Okay, Lux is back. You could have had a disconnect. All right, so we got the early the Drake. So that's quite a lot of work for well, that's work on the map right there. Bit concerned for our Jax, because he will be pushing up. All right, so I'm gonna try to give Heimer here. Well, let's eat this first. We're gonna try to give this to Heimer. Smite it for some health. Hopefully he comes on time here. Alright. Alright, I'm dead. Okay. So it would have been nice if Heimer came by. Really would have. Because then, well, Warwick might have, you know, Warwick would have stolen. Warwick would have stolen it anyway. But at least a, Heimer's just not being able to get to his turret. Okay. We're gonna see what we can salvage over here. But yeah, the Warwick pulled a Nunu. Where he just walks up and steals my stuff. Alright, so we're gonna tag him. Oh. Be interesting. If he comes this way, I'm... Okay, he's not coming. It looks like Vayne's getting on the Ash. Bad move, buddy. Alright. That was interesting. The Ashe has turned it around on our bot lane. However, the Jax is creating a lot of okay, what is up next? Oh, it's another Fire Drake. Hey. It's just that easy, boys. Alright. We're gonna wait a moment, because Morgana could come over here. Okay. Okay, so Jax took care of that. Still wondering if this Morgana is gonna show up. I don't think so. Don't hit forward. Okay. Come on, get your blue, man. No? Oh, my Heimer buddy. He'll be alright. Yeah, come on. You know you want to, Warwick. Aww. That was pretty funny. I just love when they stick around. Alright, so we've got 4 minutes on the next the next oh man. I would love Warwick to step into this again. Alright, so now we're gonna go get the Warwick. He is donezo. Yep. He is donezo. So we're gonna go mid, I think, because Heimer is a little busy. And we're just gonna push this. We're just gonna push that so Lux will be convinced to go to a safe distance. Oh man, I want to stay here. Oh no. I'm gonna stay here, just in case. But yeah, bot is just, oh man, cleaning up, man. Cleaning house. Ah. Dang it. Wonder if anybody... No, no one is gonna... Oh, hey Ash, what's up? Woo! Oh, my poor Jaime. Uh-oh, that's not good. Alright. We escaped. They're alive. Alright, so we're going to finish our Cinder Hulk item. We're gonna get Spirit Visage because that was a decent amount of damage coming from Lux. And we're gonna... Oh, I like this Jax, man. Oh man, I like this Jax. Let's see if we can stop this Garen. Oh, he's so close. He's gonna get it. But we're gonna... Jax is gonna get him. Oh, I didn't get the assist. Dang it. Look at the scuttles. Here we go. That's what I like to see. Alright, so we're gonna throw a ward. Right there. Throw a ward right there. Oh man, this game is out of control, man. Out of control! And so to try to explain how this game got out of control, I would have to say bot lane, they hit their spike here. All right, so we're looking at 680. Oh, thanks, Jaime. I think there's a lot of Alright, so we're just kind of... that's not good. Where do I run to? I can't run anywhere. Ah, dang. At least Jax is taking out that. That was awful. Alright, so we don't need 2 of those. So Heimer, he is no longer a powerhouse at the moment. I don't know if he ever I think he was. He was a powerhouse. But now the mid game's over. This is the late game now. This is the late game, and this is where our comp shines. But it doesn't mean that we can be sloppy. Like, Ashe is down here, and that is a total no-no. Right. So we should, oh, dang. There we go. Well, Jax is getting into it. Oh, nice. So we'll be able to get that. Little time wasting from the Vayne. Alright, so they can't, oh my goodness, Mr. Jax. Oh, this is quite unnecessary. Alright, so we're gonna chill here for a bit. Hopefully Heimer will get done here. I can duo this with Heimer. Beat up my buddy here. There we go. Let the damage rain. There we go. I accidentally smited. Nobody saw that. Alright, so we're gonna grab this, and thanks for the duo, Mr. Heimer. And so all we're gonna do is we're gonna ward bot side. Oh, Jax is going in, man. Oh my goodness. This Jax is crazy. Jaxie! Get out of there, Jax. Wow, this Jax, man. Oh, this Jax. Jeez. I need to check out his build, man. What was he running? So we're giving that to Jax. Not so much for a shot calling, but for just an, you know, oh my goodness. Plays. Whoa! What happened this game? 19, 2, and 6? Holy smokes, man. Alright, so he actually got Ninja Tabe. I would think he would get something like Mercury Treads because they had Morgana, but whatever. He killed way too fast for Morgana to do anything about it. Okay, so with Jax, he got Randuin's Omen, which is pretty standard for Jax when he's trying to solo people, because you can't really, I mean, if you're gonna try to hit Jax with a Randuin's Omen, you're not gonna win that fight. He's got the burst from Trinity Force, he's got super burst from the Titanic Hydra, then he's got Steric Gauge for survivability. And then he's also got Executioner's Calling, which is going to inflict grievous wounds on the enemy for 3 seconds. And what that means is, I believe grievous wounds are, you know, when you hit someone and I think you're below a certain percentage, you can't heal, or you can't heal as well, something like that. And I think that applies greatly to Garen, because Garen, well, maybe not, because Garen does want to heal, but he can't heal if you're hitting him. So all you have to do is hit him, and then his passive goes away. So I don't know about the Executioner's Calling, but worked. It was working, but I don't know if that was the 19, 2, and 6. Anyway. So we pretty much play a support role as Nunu. We actually got 1 kill. We were able to give Jax all the kills that we assisted, I think, and some that we tried to assist. Like, we just threw our blood boil on them and they were fine. Vayne was actually doing well mid-game. And when Vayne does well mid-game, that means that she's just going to have such a good late game. And we go. The Timer did an okay job. But he was at the point where he was falling off, and that one fight kind of showed that we couldn't rely on him for damage. But the rest of our group, man, I did not realize we had such a stomp composition. But I think the Karma went so well with the Jax and the Vayne. And like, Karma allows Vayne to get to that late game. This Karma has such a powerful early game that she can harass, or she can return harass so well. You have to worry about the ultimate plus a Q from Karma if you try to get in trades with the Vayne. Alright, so let's do a little itemization. Let's wrap it up with some itemization. So a lot of the damage I found was coming from Lux. At the time, I felt it was, and to look at the KDA, it was, I felt like that was a pretty valid point, because she can throw a lot of burst out all in one go. So the Spirit Visage seemed to be the top-notch thing to go for. Next, I would get Frost, whatever it's called. This is going to reduce attack speed, and who really relies on attack speed? It's only Ashe who relies on attack speed. So I could have not gone this item. I could have gone something maybe a little more hybrid, something with health. But it would slow down people's attack speed, but really nobody's attack speed really counts in this in our enemies lineup except for Ashe's. So that's not necessarily, it's not such a good item in this matchup, but still it can't help, because it's gonna add a defense. It's gonna provide me some survivability versus the auto attackers, because everybody auto attacks in some degree. But for Warwick, he's a champion that does some burst damage and he kind of hangs on in there, and then the other guys finish him off. And that's how you should that's how you should work the Warwick, is do a decent amount of damage. Now Warwick, he actually has gone enchantment warrior. I don't think this was a good idea on his part. He's also gone ravenous hydra, and this is going to do a lot of burst damage, but you're going to negate a whole lot of survivability away from titanic hydra to go into ravenous hydra. You're going to do more damage, you're going to do more burst, but survivability is not as high. And I would say that these are two big no-nos. You don't really want to go warrior as Warwick, because of the way his passive works, and it keeps healing, and it. Let's see, well, I wish I could read his passive, but you benefit so much from having a higher health pool because you can heal that health up with your passive. And it looks like so really I think he's got a build that really lent itself to Jax and just taking him out so much quicker. With Jax, you really have to watch your positioning, and this Jax knew what he was doing. So he was especially dangerous. When you were too close to Jax, when you're out of position, he knew he was going to take you out. Got to keep that in mind. You can't be Garen and go for a tower when you know the Jax is right there. He's gonna come after you. He was quick too. He was getting places real quick. The Vayne's got you got your standard for this meta. You got your Infinity Edge plus the static shift. So you're gonna do a lot. Vayne is gonna do a lot of burst damage early on. So she is not only at her spike, but she's itemizing correctly for this meta, where she just does a butt ton of damage. Now, if you would have gone Blade of the Rune King into items like items that would help farm, you're not going to have as strong as an impact as you would if you go these critical items, the IE and Static Shiv. Those two items, Static Shiv is going to do burst damage already. It's going to chunk you down after the charges get to 100, and then you've got Infinity Edge with just so much damage coming out of there. And then she's got Quicksilver Sash to get out of various binds, and I think that is really, really nice. Even though she wasn't going to progress with the Quicksilver Sash as an item until later, because she was going to go build into a Bloodthirster or something like that, but or Blade of the Rune King. But she kept the Sash to avoid Lux's bind. There's so many binds that she has to look out for. So this is excellent because it's really Vayne is aware of the meta. In addition, she delayed other items so she can get out of all important bind, because they've got tons of bind. You've got the ultimate from Ashe, you've got the bind from Lux, you've got the bind from Morgana, and you've got the ultimate from Warwick. Not to mention his fear, but I don't know how to. I'm not sure if you can get out of that. Maybe. I think you can, but I've yet to see it. You got the Heimer, he's got Leandri's Torment, he's got survivability and some damage. He wasn't doing a whole lot. He wasn't losing lane, but his damage really fell off. But luckily, all he had to do is continue doing his own thing, and he helped me at Baron. And I'm like, you get a bravo, man, for helping me at Baron. When nobody else would come, Heimer came. But yeah, survivability plus the Dark Seal. I wouldn't recommend this in his case because he's got so many deaths. So the stacks of glory aren't going to be beneficial because he's died so much. So it would have been better for him to go for a second Dorn's Ring if he lacked some power, or just items that help him survive, essentially. So he has his damage spike in the mid game, and if he can have that last, if he's dominating, but he definitely was not. So I don't think any time in the game he really hit his power spike, just because of how his KDA is, and his farm is okay. So he has somewhat of a spike, but not nearly as high as you would if you're playing pretty good. But he was there for me at the Dragon, and he was there for me at Barons. So now I'm thinking I should have honored the Heimerdinger, because that means so much to me. But I mean, oh my goodness, the Jax just like dominate this game. Yikes. When you have a Jax player that knows how to play like this, you have to be aware of how to handle his abilities. If you know how to handle his abilities, you can take him out. The next item he would have been going for would be like a Guardian Angel, which just makes him just so difficult to deal with. You gotta know how to deal with Jax. You gotta, in this case, it'd have to be 5. You have to have the whole team, and Jax, his kit wants to jump in and kill people. So what you gotta do is you gotta hit Jax with binds, and then wait till his abilities are on cooldown, and then continue to kite, continue to do damage. That's the way you gotta handle Jax. When Jax's abilities are up, you gotta realize he can jump to you, and he can chunk you, especially when he's a 19, 2, and 6. You can still take care of him, but it takes a concerted effort by the enemy team. You've got on our team, you've got Karma, and Karma is just she was doing exactly what you want from Karma. She's got mana regen coming from the Chalice of Harmony, and then she's got Ardent Sensor that's going to help out with her heals. And finally, Frost Queen's Claim to slow down any unsuspecting people. So that is pretty good. She can slow people down, she can speed people up, she can bind them, she can do a lot of damage, and she worked so well with our composition. The Warwick, in my opinion, he should have gone tank Warwick. Tanking, being tanky, you have so many more options. The Garen, wow, okay, we'll get to Garen in a second. When you're tanky, you have more options, and you can work more with your team on other options besides going all in. When you build offensively, you have one option. You go in there, you do as much damage as you can, and if you don't, you either have this all-in mentality, or you go home, with nothing. But with a tanky build, you can take some hits, you can try to bait. The options, you can still do a lot of damage as Warwick, as a tank. You're not going to do the same bursty damage, but at the same time, when you do that bursty damage and it doesn't work out for you, then what are your other options? Your other options are to run away until your abilities pop back up. But instead of being the target, if you're tanky, you're not going to be the target, and you can really CC people. And you can really help your team get in the right position, get into the ward, so you can go for a dragon, whatever. But I just do not like. I don't see how Warrior even helps Warwick that much, because Warwick, he can do burst damage, and Warrior. I think Warrior is a little Cinder Hulk is just it's cheaper. It's so much more efficient. It's safer in my opinion. You can use so many more you know, strategies with tanky builds, but yeah, I just would not build this way. If you've got confidence in your Warwick, maybe so much confidence that you can do this, but not me. You got the Lux with more Economicon and a Zanya's Hourglass. I'm not sure if Zanya Hourglass was a good call. Now they do have a Jax, and they do have various champions like Vayne that's gonna do physical damage, AD. But for the most part, Lux was handling her own lane versus the Heimer, and Heimer does AP. So if she wanted more survivability, she should have gone something that, I don't know if a health item, but she wasn't facing someone in lane that did AD damage. But at the same time, like Vayne, you know, if you're that close to Vayne, like what are you doing as Lux? Now Jax, on the other hand, if you get hit by Jax, he jumps on you and starts wailing on you. If you do use Zanya's, how do you get away? Jax will do so much burst damage to you that you won't get away. You would have to Zanya's flash and then get out. And those options are pretty bleak if you're blowing your flash for the Jax, who will have his abilities up in several seconds. So I think Lux should definitely have gone a route where she's doing more damage. Or the survivability, once you're caught out, you are done for as Lux with our guys, especially that Jax, man. Jax doesn't even have any MR, and she was not taking a whole lot of damage from the Lux. So you've got the Ashe, you've got Essence Reaver, and other than that, she doesn't have a whole lot of burst. So for right now, Ashe is really lacking damage, especially compared to the Vayne with a Static Shiv and an Infinity Edge. And before the game sort of like dipped in our favor, she was probably stuck with an Essence Reaver versus an Infinity Edge. And when you're doing that 50% additional damage in crit, that is going to definitely chunk. That's definitely going to chunk Ashe and make her run for the hills. So yeah, so she's doing. So she's probably building a Static Shiv, but I think that she's handicapped herself in terms of damage. All right, so we've got next Morgana. She's got Eye of the Watcher. I don't think she should have taken Zanya's Hourglass. I think as a support, you either want to do, you want to do solid AP damage. Maybe get a Zanya's as like your last item, but you either want to bind things and to take care of business that way, because you don't need like that famous ultimate everybody and then Zanya's and everybody's doomed. You don't need that, because you're just gonna make yourself a target and you're gonna die before your ultimate even finishes. I like that ultimate too. I was, for a long time, I loved Morgana's ultimate. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm the Zanya's and all that stuff. But I figured that either one of two things. She should concentrate on single target damage for her bind, making sure it does a ton of damage. It just chunks people. Or just go support Morgana. Because if you do bind somebody, that is a long bind. And someone who's going to be binded is most likely going to be dead if they get picked out like that. So you can chunk people with single target AP items that are going to boost they're going to boost you offensively and single target offensively, where you're just concentrating on the power of the bind, and the pool is going to do a little more damage. But when you chunk people with the bind, it just sends a signal to everybody. Jump on that person, and it sends a signal to the enemy like, oh man, we're done for, because they just got chunked, they're bound, and what do? It's not a pretty situation. So yeah, either go if you either go offensive AP as Morgana, or you can go support and rely on items to support your team, redemption and whatnot, and then have items that will reduce your cooldown so you can continue to bind people, you know, continue to CC people so you can take everyone out one by one. And then finally you've got the Garen. Okay. I said I'd mention this, and this Garen has quite the awful build. The Ninja Tabe is fine. The Bramble Vest is fine. But for whatever reason, he's building an Infinity Edge as Garen. Okay. The problem with that is Garen doesn't auto attack very fast, and his attacks, like his spin to win attack, like it's the type of attack that if you had an item like Black Cleaver that stacks, that is gonna chunk that armor. But it doesn't his kit doesn't take full advantage of things like Infinity Edge. And not only that, how does Jax go, or how does Garen go versus Jax? And maybe he got rid of this. Maybe he got rid of these items and just put in just BS items. But if this is his real items and he's going Infinity Edge versus Jax, all the Jax has to do is hit him a couple of times, do his little whoosh, 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 and then he's stunned. How are you gonna get any auto attacks with Infinity Edge versus Jax? So this itemization is just totally ridiculous. And if he really was going for this build, he really did not. He did not do his team a service. He did them a disservice, and he just didn't take the game seriously. And maybe someone on the other team, on the other side, their team was like, I want to win, I want to get better, I want to learn, I want to get up in those ranks. But no, the Garen says, no, I'm gonna go Infinity Edge Garen versus Jax. Alright guys, this has been Arch, and I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I hope you guys learned a few things. I hope Meowth has learned a few things. He's watching! Alright guys, I will see you guys next time. Hi-oh!